Hello, Charlie with Charlie's Cigar Box Guitars. Okay, so what we got today, we're working on the Bailey's box. I had to put some structural. What I like to do is I like to put these little pieces in here so that I can keep when I slide the neck on, I can keep it straight and centered. Then I had to add these up at the front because it was kind of wobbly here and I wanted to tighten it up a little bit. Plus I wanted to keep it straight because my cut on one side got a little bit off, so I got a little gap on one side. So, and I had to slice out a little bit here on the end and then take a little bit off the back here. So now it fits pretty tight and it's going to be straight, right? It's going to be straight from the center to center on my box. And then I've got my neck done. So now I'm going to work on my tuners. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put my tuners, and then I'm going to cut my little thing in here, my little headstock design. So that's what I did. I glued some more structure into my box top, but I'm a little disappointed that when I made my cuts, I didn't quite get it straight. So, as you can see, on this side here, there is a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to probably use a little putty to close that up. This side here came out, it's going to be pretty tight. But when I put a little putty on the other side, I put a little bit on this side to make everything look right. And then I put those little brackets in there. I can also, my box seems to want to be a little loose here in the middle, so I can always run some screws up and pull that baby down tight. I can run them in this way or this way. I might go just this way and put some small head screws in there and countersink them into the wood here. So I've got that. I'll go ahead and get my tuner holes done in my design, and then I can finish sanding. I always like to put my little bit of my 10-degree curve on my fretboard, and it looks to be straight. Yeah, this one's straight. I can eyeball it throughout the process to make sure I'm keeping it straight, because I've had to sand them out. They've been a little bit wonky, and I can sand it out to where I can make it straight. So it's going to be a nice looking one when I'm done. So we'll see what it looks like all together. Get that slide there. So that's what it's going to look like. minus all the tape. Kind of proud of the way the markers came out. They look pretty good on the side, and then I got those pearl inlays in the top here. It's gonna look pretty good. Let me get to work on making them holes. Okay, so I've drawn out what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna use these little wingtip tuners. They're a sealed tuner, and they don't stick out as far, but I think with this little guitar that I'm making here, these are gonna look real pretty. So I got two rights and one left. So I'm gonna have two on the top and one on the bottom. So I'm gonna curve my little design that I cut in right here, and then I'm gonna drill these holes. So I got this one here. I've started setting that. So the first one is at 3/8, this one's at 3/8, and then this one right here is set in a 1/16 of an inch. And that'll give me, now these little tuners here have a little smaller hole, right? And they don't stick out, they don't have no long neck here, so they don't stick out too far on your headstock there. So they're gonna stick out, when I use the 3/8, they're gonna stick out about like that right there. And then on this one here, that's the 1/16 back, it's gonna stick out. It's gonna be almost flush, just the end of the wingtip there. It's gonna be just about flush with the net, with the headstock, like that. So I think it'll come out looking really sharp on this headstock. So let me get that drilled out, and then we'll get back to sanding and getting her shaped in and getting her ready. Okay, so the one thing I did for not take into account is if I use the wingtips, they're not as deep in this area. So I had to trim my neck down. So I trimmed that baby down on my bandsaw so that they would, I'd be able to tighten the nuts on the top and make everything tight. But then, as you can see, as you get closer back to this section of your neck here, I didn't want to cut all the way back to this point, because then I'm cutting all the way down to here, and that looked like it would be a weak point in the, I don't want my head stock to snap off. So I left this little bridge right here, all the way across where the nut can sit on it and still look nice. And so once I get through sanding all this off and getting this shaped in right with my file, then everything will come together with this headstock. And then I got my little name I'm gonna put on here. I got those. Okay, so I got my little nameplates I did on my laser to put on my headstock. I glue that on after. Right, it says Charlie's CBGs on there. Charlie's CBGs. I glue that on, and when I put the final coats of varnish on it, that'll seal it in. So it's gonna look nice. I'm just gonna sign it and date it on the back. I'm not gonna put any advertisement or nothing in with this one, because it's for a charity event. So it's not about me. It's about what we're trying to, the young kids, we're trying to help the children. Thank you. Okay, so I've done a little shaping on this and got it. I think this is going to be my final shape. Just kind of smoothed out a little bit. I've sanded this off a little bit. I got a little ding on the back. I hate when I do that, but I can sand out a lot of it. It's just going to have to be there. So that's this. I want to leave you with a little thought today. So I found this book when I was at this church, and we were getting this house ready to be a transitional housing for people, and that someone had donated some books, and I found this book. It's a book. It's by Ken Gire, and it's Between Heaven and Earth, and it's prayers and reflections that celebrate the intimate God. Okay, so whenever I'm confused about what I need to say to God, or if God's hearing me, or I just want to get closer to God, I'll pick this book up and it'll inspire me. And there's a couple of prayers, well, there's quite a few prayers in this book that are written by just normal people. There's the theologians and pastors and the authors and the great people of faith that have their thoughts and prayers in here, and those are good too. But just, so there's a couple of prayers, and this one here always touched my heart. And it's from a book by Norman C. Hebel, Habel. But the book is called For Mature Adults Only. And it's this one is a prayer by a teenage girl, and her name is, well, it says her name is Stevie. And it goes like this. It says, "Do you know what it's like to be a clown? Do you know what it's like to suffer from too many laughs? Do you know what it's like for a girl to be born a circus act? Do you know what it's like to have a funny bone for a brain? Do you? I don't have any white paint on my face, but I wear a mask. I have a silly smile that never changes. It's always there, and everyone expects it to be there. They like it that way. They enjoy a clown, and they use a clown because they think a clown doesn't care about anything. I can't enjoy a bad mood with other people. That's a strange luxury. I have to be a clown. Whenever people tease me, I turn into an act, a fool standing on my head. Then I look up and I see the world full of upside down people trying to be what they aren't. I see so many people wearing strange, colorless makeup, and the longer they wear it, the harder it is to discover what kind of people they really are underneath. I'm waiting for someone to step behind my face and find me. Not Stevie, but me. Lord, when will this Stevie be free to be me? Oh, Jesus. You can see why it inspires me. I hope you have a great day, and just talk to God. He wants to talk to you. He just wants to hear from you. Thank you.